Good morning. Today we are going to see definition of jurisprudence. We'll see one definition, that is the definition of Salmon. Okay, what Salmon says, what is jurisprudence? It is a name given to a certain type of investigation into law. An investigation of abstract, general and theoretical nature, which seeks to lay down the essential principles of law and legal system. You can divide the definition. What he says, what is jurisprudence? It is a name given to a certain type of investigation. Means the jurists are going to investigate. That certain type of investigation is called as jurisprudence. Name given to a certain type of investigation into law. An investigation of law is there, but that investigation is of what? Some abstract, some general and theoretical nature. The study, the investigation will take place of some abstract matter, abstract, general and theoretical nature. The investigation is of theoretical aspect, okay, which seeks, what is the objective of that investigation? Which seeks to lay down the essential principles of law and legal system. Means the objective of jurisprudence is what? To study the base of law, to study the principles of law and the principles which are underneath a legal system also. This is the definition of Salmon. Okay, now it is an investigation. In general, what is investigation? That is collection of evidence, isn't it? Who does investigation? The police officers are doing the investigation. But here, Salmon is not using the word investigation in that sense. Means it is not an investigation to collect evidence, to go or to probe into the crime and to catch some accused. Here the word investigation is being used in a different sense. Investigation is nothing but an intellectual inquiry. What he says, it is a name given for certain type of investigation into law. So study of law is there, investigation of law is there. Investigation here is nothing but an intellectual inquiry. It is a study not of law of one country but law of all the countries. Means the whole legal system of the international legal system we are going to study here. The basic principles underneath we are going to study here. It is a study not of law of one country but general notions of law. The study of jurisprudence therefore is useful for the whole world. Okay, now here when we called as a law, previously they used to call it as civil. Now we make a difference. Civil law is different and criminal law is different. But the previous people, the previous jurists, what they used to say, we are going to study civitas. Civitas means what? Law. Means you should not restrict. Whenever in jurisprudence when you see the word civil, it means general law. Okay, so they study civil, that is civitas. It includes the whole law of the land, including the civil and the criminal. Jurisprudence is a science of the whole law of the land. See, what Salmon is doing, Salmon is making distinction between the use of jurisprudence in generic and specific sense. Generic jurisprudence, what he says, generic jurisprudence includes the entire body of legal doctrines. What is the definition? The last part of the definition seeks to lay down the essential principles of law and legal system. So here we are going to study doctrines, the precepts, many concepts we are going to study here, like possession, ownership, right, duty and all. So generic jurisprudence includes the entire body of legal doctrines. That is generic jurisprudence. And what he says, what is specific jurisprudence? It is a particular department of those doctrines. Means a part of, we are having analytical school which analyzes, puts into different aspects and we probe into that aspect only, that small aspect only. Austin, Salmon, H.L.A. Hart, all these people are analytical jurists. Means they are discussing about specific jurisprudence also, particular department of those doctrine. He has made division also of the subject. What Salmon says, the whole jurisprudence can be divided into analytical jurisprudence, historical jurisprudence, ethical jurisprudence. you have to give a very comprehensive treatment to the subject. We have to study the whole aspect, means analytical, sociological, historical. It is a science, na? It is a systematic way of doing something significant, isn't it? So we have to study in a very systematic manner, and we study. Salmond also says, when he is telling about investigation, he is stating, okay, we are studying some abstract, some theoretical, some general aspect, but we are going to study it systematically. Therefore, it comes to a conclusion that jurisprudence is a science. As per Salmond, what is jurisprudence? It is systematic study, expository study, which deals with the contents of the actual legal system as existing at any time. It may be past, it may be present. When Salmond says that jurisprudence is an investigation, when he said that, it was true at that time also, and it is true at this point also, this time also, because today also we are going to investigate into law, and this investigation is relating to some abstract theoretical nature, theoretical general abstract nature. And what we are going to probe into, what we are going to see into, we are going to seek to lay down the essential principles. We are going to see the beneath, the underlying principles of law and the legal system. Okay. What second he says? Legal history. You have to study history also, legal history, which is concerned with the legal system in the process of historical development, how law was. Actually, analytical people are not concerned with how law was. They are concerned with the present only. But to have a comprehensive knowledge about the concept, we have to go for past also. We have to see how law has developed. Okay, historical development we have to study. We are having a separate school called as historical school. The third aspect which Salmond says that the science of legislation, the purpose of which is to set forth law as it ought to be. It deals with the ideal future and the legal system and with the purposes for which it exists. Why law exists? We have to study that. Which law will be called as just? Or some say that when we use the word law, it is just only. The concept of unjust law is not there. But we have to see how law should be, ought to be. Some ethical aspects are really connected with the concept of law also. Okay, so Salmond has mentioned about three kinds of jurisprudence. One is systematic jurisprudence, the other is the legal history, and the third is the science of legislation. He has also, based upon this only, he has made the division of the subject as analytical, historical and ethical. To have a comprehensive, you have to give a comprehensive treatment to the subject, and you have to study all the three branches. Got it? Means what is jurisprudence? According to Salmond, it is a type of investigation of law. It is an investigation of law which is abstract, which is of general nature and theoretical nature. And what is the objective of this investigation? To lay down the essential principles of law and legal system. Now, when we study jurisprudence in the way he is telling, at the same time he tells that jurisprudence is having educational value. More educational value it is having. Your day-to-day problems in your life, your domestic problems, they will not be solved by this study. You are going to probe into what law is, what law was, and what law ought to be. Therefore, it is a fascinating interest people had and people have also today to study law. It may not be useful to solve day-to-day problems, but it is having very much educational value. And we have, in the previous lecture we have seen, Salmond also says that jurisprudence is having practical value also, because theory makes practice always better. Okay, and nobody is studying any concept with an objective that whether it is having practical value or not. First of all, it is having educational value, and that is going to help you every time in your life. We have seen in the previous lecture, for legislators, for judges, for lawyers and for the students of law, the study of jurisprudence is very essential, very important. It is an investigation of a fascinating aspect called as law. And as per Radcliffe, you can't learn law just by learning law. You should have the knowledge of everything. Law covers everything. So you have to study everything. Then only you will get the proper knowledge or proper grasp of law. If you have that proper knowledge, if you know the basic concepts, you will come directly to a conclusion in a very proper manner. That thought will lead you to that. The logical training will help you to come to a proper conclusion. Okay. Bye bye. See you in the next video.